truth about marriage that will enable us to marry and marry well and be successful. For those of you who have been following this teaching every Friday, the last point we discussed, or factor we discussed, was the fact that when you want to succeed in your marriage, you should understand that there are basic differences between men and women. We are not the same. The fact that we are human beings does not mean that we are the same. And I explained extensively what our differences are. Today, we are going to another point. And that is very important. As you step into this relationship, or about to step into this relationship, and it is equally true for us who are already even in the relationship, because it is the word of God. And that is what he expects us to know, so that it can be applied in the relationship. So today I'm reading from Ephesians 7, verses 4. Then we go to verses 32 to 34. And you should get these facts right if you want this marriage to succeed, if you want to enjoy it, if you want the peace, the needed peace. These facts are key. 1 Corinthians 7, the 4 verses, the wife does not have authority over her own body, but the husband does. And likewise, the husband does not have authority over his own body, but the wife does. This we must know. It's so important. What does the Bible mean by you don't have authority over your own body? The wife does not have authority over her own body, but the husband. And the husband does not have authority over his own body, but his wife. You know, those of us, especially the men, who get into marriage with the mentality that they are the bosses and their wives are underdogs, should take a second view of this particular verse. It is to tell us that this relationship we are entering is not a servant-master relationship. It's a relationship of equality. Don't get me wrong. It is a relationship of equality, equals. That is how God sees it. Otherwise, how can we be partners? How can we be one if one has jumped up and the other one is underneath? I mean, oneness is just way out. It's an impossibility. So as we get into that marriage, he says your body doesn't belong to you. It belongs to your partner, whether the male or the female, whether the husband or the wife. Let's get that straight as we enter. We will come back here. And the next verses in the verse 33 of the same Corinthians chapter 7. But I want you to be without care. Who is unmarried cares for the things of the world, how he may please the Lord. But he who is married cares about the things of the world, how he may please his wife. And then, but she who is married cares about the things of the world, how she may please her husband. Keep in mind these three things. That your body doesn't belong to you, but your spouse. I'm not the one saying it. Actually, he says you don't have authority. Listen to the mind of God. You might not disagree with me, but the issue is not me. I'm not sharing my opinion. I'm sharing the word of God. That is the mind of God. The one who ordained and instituted marriage. That is his word. That is what he saw. That is what he knew or knows will help the end that all of us are looking for when we enter marriage. And that when you enter marriage, everybody is working at making sure that it works. So it says that the man's first duty in that marriage is how to please her husband. And the man is how to please his wife. So on your marks, get set, pop, as we enter the relationship. Everybody is working to please the other. So we will be coming to how this will be possible. And then we send ye yesi ya ne dano, ye de emire yi esi ho. Emma achirechire ewa wadie. Efise ye pese enye adwuma. Ne ye hunu wa wadie mu no eya awiroho asem. Ye ya manyame aye torofo. Efise ono ena amaki aware se eye efiri mfitiase. Ne ye hunu eya awiroho asem. Enu ntina niema bia nyame no ankasa kan wona asem a ebeboa mini wo mienu amayetu anamon yi na yetimi ahunu nyame ne nyame pese ohunu na nyame ni age na wabo ne nsem amaye no gise asem ya a ye kan last 2 weeks no ye ma ye nyanti yese oba ne be ma ye nyepe kwan bisu ye yepe na kwa bebre nso so ye nyepe enna me kirekire mu kwan a efa so wa ye nyepe no efise se mahunu se wei enna ha me yere sane anyame se bo no meno menyasa me tisa asam no ase a mehunu sane amene ne besi yakasa fa mehunu sane amesi a handle no afa sa anso na metinyame ase se niema bi wo me kunu ho animi mu enti sa niema ntinu niema bi koso esese menti na ase wo kwan bi so na timi aboya mienu a ebeyi enne ye toa so makai bibia wo Korintiafo nwoma 3 enso echichemu enan ena misamba form eba aduansa mienu eni ekoduru aduasa enan no na sama eka ewo Korintiafo nwoma 3 enso echichemu enan no wo se oba oni tumi ewo onu nipadua no gini kunu sansu na ni kunu nso oni tumi ewo ni nipadua mo gise oyire tambia ye kasa asem ye na ya adwene ko mpem asam nko a enye mpem asam nko a sanse sane nokora ni ntinu eno nti na odi be share ho na wagina so atuamfo but that is the truth nokora ewom no enti sasamfo no ye kwa awade animu be manya sa adwene no na oba nso nya sa adwene no na sanse woni padua no wo ye bema wo de ne ye meme de a me ye oba na meme de ne ye wo de a wo ye bema nintin Bible say ye 32 1 Corinthians 32 na 34 wo say oberima ni wiase a wa ba ene aware a wa wura mu no ne nya adwuma nyame de ama ne se o ne bibia obeye no onhwe se obema ni ne yire ani age sansu na oka ekire eman nso wo so oba bia nso a obekọ aware no won se niema bebre agi adaje de ba ne titru ne se ye beye adwuma wo behwe se ne wo beye bia no nso be ma wo kunu ani age enti on your marks get set a wo kwa aware no no ni anyame aka kire wo no and not to the edru partner selection na say wo kopo bi aware no ne etena no a pe obi a wo betimi ayesa ne ama emfo obi a enyo obi a na wo betimi ama no tumi ewo wo nipadua so mane yeje enyo obi a that's the truth enti sane no enware no because wo ware no a wo ne nyame benya asem ne anasam ehwehwe a opese ye eno no wo duru ho pe wo nipadua ne nyina no eya wo yire de woni padua ne nyina no eya okunu de enti pekunu a wo betimi agai sa ni padua na ama no a wonim se on abuse. It's so important what was no a o se hwe obi nso a you can please some people simply cannot be pleased Ebina and anopeya ye kan ya sister yi kase ne peya no ne ti Joseph se ne no ne suban city ebufu na ye wonim se sa ni yi wuntimi please no ano tina partner selection me hwa wo suban no wo ne ye ansa na ma pene so sa me no betimi atena efi se nyame se me please now so you are simply the type who cannot be pleased. It's just impossible. And to one warrior, you are looking for trouble. Trouble pana wo hwehwe. Wo enti eduru say ye ware no a na ye hu say choice no a ya make no, we have made the right choice. And to be hu say niema anya mesihwe say ye nya yi nyina no enye de ne ma ye. Because sa oni no do a me word man no yes me woman kura mewu. Enti enya ne say ni pedua me de be ma no. Me de ama no. Enu ntina ma ba no. Metiase pa enu tire matusa na mong no enti me de sa ni pedua no ma no a edie na wo ye ni pedua no wo kai se o yi wo ko eyi efiso nwoma eti enum tisemu aduanu wotwe enko enkono no o ka bibi e kire mema e wo ho sa just to explain ni pedua yi a o se ye de mema ye ho no oka asem bi wo ho ebo aduanu ewotwe eko nkono no wo se enti oksa na okunu no mu sese omundo omuyere no se ni omusido omuankasa enipadua no efise obibia odo ne yere no odo no ankasa no efise obia ne wa otan ne hoda but o hwe ne nipede onoreshe no echereshe no senia nyame asam esika no onoreshe no chereshe de ene sofo no na beba be explain senia ye no a o hwe ni pedua yiyi sana nyame account. If you want to be happy in that marriage, there are no options. We should just know these truths and be ready. If only that marriage will be so exciting. There are those who understand these truths, and I'm sure when you get to their marriages, you would want to marry the very next minute. You just get there and you will really understand what they mean by taking care of the body. You know, each one is doing his duty. You know, if it is clothing, if it is feeding, if it is sharing, if it is faithfulness, whatever it is that will cause one to get so excited with this world. They are concerned about each other. When one is sick, the other one is sick. You just realize that he realizes if my body is your body, as the scriptures say, and your wife is sick or your husband is sick, and you just are not worried, you are not bothered, it means that this particular verse that the Bible is expecting of you, you have failed. Why fail it? Because that is your body. It says the wife doesn't have authority over that body except you. And if that body happens to be your body and you have that authority over it, when it is diseased, when it is sick, when it is weak, when it lacks some excitement of some sort, it means that you have some job to do. Don't say you don't care. And that is why he gave this example about husbands. He said, if indeed, and that is what it is, that this body belongs to you, he says, how many of us do not nourish and cherish our bodies? So the Bible expects that you do same to your wife and the wife does same to the husband. There is equity in the Bible. Equity. God has not raised one